Greetings from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Tuesday, January 7, 2025. New year, new boat. Well, actually an old boat. 1950, 22-foot, Chris Craft U22 Connie is looking rather different than you saw her the last time. Since we last viewed her, we finished applying the Pettit Hard Racing Copper Bronze Bottom Paint. I say we, I should say Rick. And Rick has flat sanded the sides and the transom. Let me tell you, that is a pile of work. Hours and hours and hours making pencil lines, hanging on to that pneumatic Hustler longboard, and working from end to end, end to end, and then on the transom from port to starboard, starboard to port. Rick worked the entire surface 3 individual times to get to this result. Since then we have, well, I'll let Rick hand off what he did after he finished sanding and what he's doing now.
Well, first thing, we got it all sanded, then Joey helped me and he got one side and I did the other, and we stained it all. And that's quite a process because you got to go right through, and you have a lot of these grains that are really opened up, so you got to really work that varnish in there.
Yep.
And then you got to wipe it dry and make sure it's dry, you know.
But that gelled stain is something,
Yes.
yeah. Mike Mayer's Lobo gelled stain. This is post-war Chris Craft. And
yeah, it's amazing stuff, I tell you. And then I gave it 3 coats of the clear penetrating epoxy sealer.
yeah,
And then I let it set for the weekend, harden up real good. And I came in this morning and I started scuffing it down with 320. Got it nice and smooth, and I vacuumed the whole thing right off. And then I put a coat of varnish on this morning, and now I'm applying the second coat of varnish. And as you can see, I'm already up to here. And I make these little lines on the tape line so I can see, because you can see it's really hard to distinguish where you put it and where you have it. So when you have
Yep.
a line there,
yep,
you know exactly where you are.
Sure.
It makes a big difference.
and then
Other than that, you got to run your finger into it to find out where you
then you overlap at the lines.
Yeah, I usually overlap about 6 inches.
Yeah. And you're not using that foamy to apply the varnish, are
No,
you? That's,
I got the mat here. It's a 3 inch. I'll make sure it's good and wet, because if you don't, your brush will drag. And then I'll start out, and I'll usually just go down through like this. Kind of spread it out a little even that way. And then I'll get my uppers. Make sure it's all done. And then
and we've tried all kinds of rollers. We even once tried to spray this stuff, and our adventures with orange peel just,
and as you can see it bubbles up.
yep,
So when you're applying it, if you leave it like that, it's just gonna leave a bubble finish. It's not gonna look right. That's why we do the roll and tip method. It really works out really great. As you can see, I'm about 6 inches from the line there.
yep,
And then I'll come over it, and you wanna make sure you don't drag it real hard. You wanna go real lightly with it. Because if you don't, you're just gonna get drag marks with your foam brush. The lighter you go, the easier it's gonna go on. And see, it takes it right down to beautiful like that.
boy, that's nice.
Makes a very nice finish.
Yeah.
And then I've only got, let's see, this is 2, so what, another 25 coats or something like that.
Yeah, 25, 24.
And of course, in between, every third time you go over it with the varnish, then you want to scuff it with 320. And then after, like, say, I think it's like 10, I believe. That was what we do. And then we'll take the longboard to it, flatten it out with 320 again, and then
Yeah.
start the process all over again. And it's
And-
just gonna make it flatter each time.
By the time you get up into the 20s in terms of coat count, you apply the Pettit Captain's Ultra Clear on top, huh?
Yeah, yeah, because we'll have
Right.
our lettering and all that on.
That's
it,
right.
and you'll
Once
want the color.
Once Joni Alden gets all the lettering on, well, just before that, we've sanded that area flat and dull, and she letters the boat, and then we come back with the Captain's Ultra Clear, put 3 to 5 coats on, and then buff it and call it good. And so that you don't have to look up what we're using, here it is. We use Pettit Flagship high build varnish for all of our build coats. It's got a slight amber color to it, and it really brings out the highlights in the stain. So Rick will keep going, and sometime next week we might even begin thinking about flipping her back over.
Yeah,
Who
well,
knows?
Yeah, once we have a bunch of coats on, we'll flip it over so we can get the top side going and
Right.
continue everything, because
That's-
we still got work on that too.
So that's our update on our 1950 22-foot Chris Craft U22 mahogany planked. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.